So this week had been a big one in terms of central bank meetings, with the Fed, FOMC really taking it away with the US dollar after the market expressed their disappointment in not seeing the Fed actually accelerating their 2018 projections for interest rate hikes. Dollar index sinking about 0.7% from peak to bottom as of Thursday morning here in Asia. And of course, for equity markets, their reaction, especially for the financial sector, was seen as well. In terms of how the markets have performed, we have seen the S&P 500 holding rather near neutral on a week-to-date basis as of Thursday's close. A little bit of this concern shown as well with regards to tax reform in Thursday's session, after Senator Marco Rubio was seen expressing his dissent towards the tax reform in its current form. So of course, this sets up a little bit of uncertainty into the fresh week, and of course we are going to delve into a little bit of what we're looking out for the new week. Once again, for the full suite of events, do head on to the IG economic calendar, and I'm just going to highlight some of these things for you to look out for. So following central bank meetings, I think next week is going to be one that's big in terms of data for the US in particular. Personal income and spending, durable goods are expected to be due in the US, and the market's really expecting an improvement over here. Q3 GDP, the third reading of which expected to hold rather steady at 3.3% quarter on quarter. And of course, down to the end of this week, we have core PCE numbers that's going to be due. The economists have actually penned in the market consensus actually of a slowdown in terms of month-on-month terms. So I think that might create a little bit of concern for the market. But of course, putting all the data aside, I think what's going to really take it away is with respect to what the US tax reform vote will be. So the Senate followed by the House in the US are expected to vote on the final form of the tax reform bill next week before presenting it to President Donald Trump before Christmas. The market is really looking out for that piece of item, and we have yet to gain too much clarity in terms of the date at this current moment. But having said that, depending on the frequency and the time frame that you are trading, do keep a close eye out for these items, as I do think that it's going to really shape the market in a big way. And of course, for equity markets, especially in the US and also trickling down to many parts of Asia as well, how the tax reform passing will actually affect a large part of the sentiment for the equity markets as well. Looking at Asian markets following the advanced economies central bank meetings, we have a number here as well for ourselves. So the central banks in Taiwan and Thailand are expected to meet, but of course the biggest one will be the Bank of Japan meeting announcement due on Thursday. Markets really not expecting too much over here, but any comments, do keep an eye out for that as well. For the local Singapore market, the key piece of data will sit in on Monday, the non-oil domestic export numbers for November. Current market consensus is for significant moderation in terms of the NODX figure. So the impact that would have for the markets, and should we actually get a huge surprise on the upside, I would see that that could be a help for the market that's been under quite a bit of pressure this week.